Hey guys, what's up? Rick here. Welcome to a quick tip video to show you guys efficiently how to play this game. I've been streaming a lot lately. I'm currently grinding the 35k world, and I get a ton of people asking me how they can get better at this game, why their teams can't do what mine can, etc, etc. So these are 5 tips that I've been using. You don't have to follow them if you don't want to, but these are what work for me. So the first thing I want to cover is 1 move versus 2 moves. So personally, if you guys notice on my team, I only run 1 move on my Pokemon. The reason I do this is because I run auto a lot, and having 1 move makes it where the AI will only use that 1 move. Obviously, they won't spam a move that they don't need. Along with that, it also gives you access to the 3 improvement slots that I'll be going over later. So this is something that you have to think about. If you're playing by yourself and you don't use auto, it might be more fun for you to have more skills that you can use. But me personally, because I play auto all the time and I want my Pokemon to only use that 1 move that I know is going to give us the most damage output and the best chance of success, I always run 1 move on my Pokemon. If it has 2 moves, I'm sorry, I don't use it. Most of the time I'll feed it to another Pokemon. So that moves us on to our next thing. So now that we have our 1 move, we want to make sure that this 1 move that we have is efficient. So we're going to be moving on to something called bingo bonuses. A lot of you guys may have noticed that there's these 3 things on the side here. These are your the bingo bonus. You get these each time that you complete a line with your stones. So as you can see, I actually have 4 lines on this, but you can only go up to 3 active. So I have a 3 on my bingo bonus. So if you're wondering where you can see your bingo bonus, when you're on this screen, you can click this little magnifying glass in the top right here, and it'll show up below your Pokemon. So this Mewtwo isn't that great. His bingo bonus for 1 line is a resistance to negative effects of 20%. He has Psychic type move wait time, which means he will be able to cast Psychic type moves faster, is a minus 20%. And attack with normal type moves percent is a bonus of 20% damage. So you're like, well, what does this mean? Why is this important? Well, the thing is I know that if I use a normal type move on this Mewtwo, I'm going to be getting 20% bonus damage. So that makes my Hyper Beam that I'm running do a bonus 20% damage every time I use it. So that's super important because you want to make sure that your bingo bonuses line up with what you're using. So for an example, Mewtwo, like I said, he's not that great, right? Because he has Psychic type wait time down and then bonus to normal type move. So he's not getting the efficiency of both of those. But then if you look at something like my Porygon, which everyone keeps asking me, why am I running Porygon? Well, if you look at his bingo bonus, he has attack of normal type moves of 5%, attack of normal type moves 20%, resistance to status conditions 20%. So he does a bonus 25% damage on his Hyper Beams, which that adds up. 25% bonus is nuts. So that kind of brings us into the whole quality of the move. You want to make sure that your move lines up with what your bingo bonus is. There's no point in me having Psychic on Mewtwo if my bingo bonus gives me normal type damage. I would be getting no bonus from running that. So just make sure that you're smart. Make sure that you're using moves that are good. Moves like Earthquake. Earthquake is a great move, but if you're running it with like the Whack stones, you're highly unlikely to get all 4 uses of it. Right? So Earthquake might not be good for your Nidoking. You should be running something like Mega Horn that's going to be hitting more often. So that moves us on to the next thing. Effective secondary stones and support Pokemon. This is the biggest mistake that I see people do, and this is the biggest thing that is holding other people back. So when you play the game, you unlock secondary stones. So you guys know your main ones, your power, your defense. But if you go down here, you get into the yellow, the purple, the orange, the blue, and the green, and the pink. So the main ones that you want to know are the Whack stones. These allow you to use a move multiple times before it goes on cooldown. It does increase the wait time though. So it's a trade-off, right? I'm running it on Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam already has a long cooldown, but then I'm running 3 Whack stones on it, which means my Porygon will cast 4 Hyper Beams before it goes on cooldown. Each of these Hyper Beams with this current setup are going to hit from anywhere between 16,000 damage and 56 to 62,000 on a crit. That's a lot of damage in the words of some Flex Seal commercial. So that's really good. This is what's going to allow my Pokemon to do more damage than pretty much anything else. Your other options are you could run wait time down, but I would highly recommend you test out Whack stones because in the general way that this game plays, you're going to be doing a ton of damage with this compared to just the reduced cooldown. So definitely make sure you take advantage of those. And then the main thing, the biggest mistake that I see people do is they don't run a support Pokemon. And what I mean by a support Pokemon is you have a Pokemon that's only move is something that's going to benefit the rest of your team. So I run a Cloyster. Cloyster on my team only knows Barrier, which increases the defense of the rest of my team. All right, lowers the amount of damage that it takes for a while. That's pretty good, right? Then you give it 3 of the Sharing Stones. Sharing Stones will give the effect of whatever this Pokemon receives, 25% of it will go to the rest of your party members. So because I have 3 Sharing Stones, that means the rest of my team, every time Barrier is cast, will get a 75% Barrier as well. So this pretty much increases the defense of every single member of my team by 75%, which is actually insane. It's so good. And the reason I'm using Cloyster is because remember earlier we talked about the bonuses, right? The bonus, the bingo bonus. Look at this, bingo bonus. Taking critical hits rates, 25% reduction. Movement speed, 20%. And taking critical hit rates, 50% reduction. So this has a crit hit rate. A chance of taking a crit hit is minus 75%. This Cloyster almost never gets crit, so I don't have to worry about it dying, which is amazing. It's like the best thing that you can have for a tank. So the last thing I want to cover is probably going to be the most difficult thing for people to understand and for me to explain, and that is the benefit of stones in general. So you guys know each of these stones, if you get a gold tier, they have 3 different things on them. If you have silver, it'll have 2 bonuses, bronze will have 1, and grays will have nothing. So each of these will come with a different stat. So this will give 988 HP. It'll give HP upon recovery of 19 and natural healing % as well. So there's certain things that are more important than others. And the 3 that I want to cover in this video are the 3 that I believe are most important. Obviously, everybody has their different ones that they think are going to be great. So we're going to go through this stone right here. This stone is about as good as it can roll, but it did roll a little low on some of them. So it rolled a 911 in attack, which is really good. And then it has crit hit damage, which is a 23%, crit hit rate, which is 27%, and then a hit healing %, which is 2.5. So to go through those, crit hit damage, when you crit, it's going to deal more damage. Pretty simple. Crit hit rate is your chance of critting. So normally you would have like a 1 in 20 chance of critting, right? This is going to make it where maybe you have a 1 in 5 chance of critting. And then last but not least is the most OP thing in the game right now, which is called hit healing %. This means whatever damage you deal will heal your Pokemon as well. So if we jump into looking at the bonus stats of this Mewtwo, from his stones, he is getting a 79% chance to crit. And when he crits, it's going to do 100% more damage. On top of that, his natural healing is 57%. So if I hit for 20k, I'm going to get healed probably about half of my HP. It's actually disgusting how much healing that you get from this. So make sure that you guys are paying attention to your stones. Crit hit damage, crit hit rate, and hit healing % are what's going to carry you through this game. So main things to remember: stones, very important. Secondary stones, very important. 1 move on your Pokemon, super important. Make sure you're running a support. Make sure you take advantage of those bingo bonuses. I promise you guys will be farming this stuff in no time. Like I said, I'm farming the 35k world right now with about 2 minutes to spare, which is kind of disgusting. So yeah, I hope this video helped you guys out. If it did, be sure to leave a like down below. Share it with your friends if they're getting into the game. I live stream. Links are in the description. And I will catch you guys in the next video. All right? Peace.